Welcome to the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar radio program.
Raw and uncut, nigga Jag, you know how you do it. You know what I'm saying? Get it all way live.
Broadcasting live from Hutchinson, Kansas.
Well, I'm sitting here with a linguist. I had no idea. I didn't know you were, but I didn't know that you were a wordsmith.
Call Jiggy right now. 267-22-JIGGY.
Hey Jiggy, what's happening, man? Reminds me of that David Bowie song. Jiggy play guitar. It's a great name, man. Thanks so much for having me on the show.
Presenting
I'm Mike Massey, and you can catch me on Jiggy Jag TV and see a few of my trick shots there. Thank you very much.
Jiggy Jaguar.
I never knew what freedom was until I saw you lose yours.
Good God in heaven, what in the world? It is the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast. It's a Thursday edition. Thank you for joining us, and we have got a live interview with a great artist here in just a few moments. We're also going to be playing some of Brandon's music here today, and without further ado, let's go back to the Skype audio, and we have Mr. Brandon Jackson on the line. How are you, sir?
I'm doing really good. How are you doing?
Pretty good, actually. Now, you are going to be on, or you're kind of on a little mini tour, I guess you would say. You recently played some dates around Stillwater, and you're going to be coming to Hutchinson, Kansas this weekend. Talk to me a little bit about how everything's been going so far and the show coming up at the Rusty Needle in Hutch.
Yeah, just been playing around, been playing a lot of acoustic shows and having a blast doing that. It's kind of fun to scale down and just a vocal and a guitar and kind of do some songs a little different than the full band version. And so I've been really enjoying that. And this will actually be my third time at the Rusty Needle. And Mike and those guys are always so good to the artists that come through there. I always have a good time. So I'm really looking forward to getting in front of that crowd again tomorrow night.
Now, if you want to get more information, how do people find you online? Social media, websites, all these things.
So I have a website, BrandonJacksonMusic.com, and then social media is most all social media links are through the website. You can find me. B Jackson Music is the name for most social media. I can't remember which one. One is Brandon Jackson Music. I think it's a big long one, but most of them are B Jackson Music. So
awesome. Well, you can get more information on the website BrandonJacksonMusic.com. January 26th at the fantastic Rusty Needle Sports Bar and Lounge here in the great Salt City of Hutchinson, Kansas. Brandon Jackson will be live as live can get. And for folks that have never heard you before or just are acquainted with your music online or they've seen you live, how did you get started doing this whole thing?
Oh gosh, I've really been performing since I was a kid. I've been singing my whole life. I actually went to school and got a music business degree with a vocal emphasis. I've just been involved in music, since I could really remember. And I really stepped out probably 15 years ago, just kind of was like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm going to make this my living. I'm going to just go. And that's what I did 15 years ago, and I'm still doing it today and have kind of meandered through a couple of different bands and now have been doing it on my own for several years. And that's kind of how I got into it, really. The Texas music scene, I got into it myself and Steve Rice of No Justice. He and I were playing acoustic shows together, and then just I ended up joining No Justice and playing around with them for several years and recording live at Billy Bob's with No Justice, and really got my feet wet that way in how touring works and radio promotion and those sort of things, and got to play with some amazing artist with them, and now kind of doing it on my own and finding my way as a solo artist, and it's been a great experience.
Now, tell us about some of your inspiration and musical influences, things of that nature.
it's so hard to nail down to one musical influence, and really nobody really does just one. But I'm always influenced by so many different things, from even from as far over as classical music to country to rock. Ryan Adams seems to be a guy that I really enjoy his music. I'm trying to remember. Somebody told me the other day that they reminded me, or I reminded them of a certain artist, and I can't now remember, but I remember it was kind of like something I didn't expect to hear, because I think sometimes we are influenced by, like, for me, it's Ryan Adams and and even Kings of Leon on the rock side, and then Waylon Jennings, and I've always been a fan of Dierks Bentley and how he's done things, and actually have had the opportunity to play with him and be on a couple of bills with him and get to know him a little bit. And, so there's this whole diverse sound kind of for me, and it's fun to hear different people's thoughts on what I sound like too, after all of those different influences come together and mesh around, and then my sound kind of comes out.
Awesome. We've got Brandon Jackson with us today. He's going to be part of a big acoustic show at the Rusty Needle coming up on Friday here in the great Salt City of Edgerton, Kansas. The 26th of January, if you're listening to us live on Facebook, Periscope, also our Thursday edition of the iHeartRadio broadcast. And tell us a little bit about Crazy About You. We're going to play that here in a few moments.
Oh, awesome. That's wonderful. Yeah, that song kind of came about, I wrote it several years ago. It's off the first album. And really the whole thing is loosely based on kind of my wife and I's relationship, and kind of the beginnings of that. And actually the very beginnings being when she was actually dating somebody else. And we were friends, but man, I really liked her. And so, some of those lines in there are kind of about that, and just kind of being infatuated with that person, that you don't want it to be just a fling or anything like that. You want it to be something deep, and you want it to be something more than just one night. I mean, it says in the line, just don't want it to be a one night thing. And that's kind of the whole story behind the story of Crazy About You.
Well, here we go. It is Crazy About You. It is Brandon Jackson. He's going to be part of a big show at the Rusty Needle tomorrow night. And here's Crazy About You. We're going to place you on hold, my friend, and I'll be back with you as soon as we're done with this song. It's Crazy About You, and it is on the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast. Coast to coast, border to border. Tune in. iTunes, and Radio Loyalty. Here we go.
Slow dancing in the moonlight. It ain't perfect, but it feels right. It makes me want to spend every night with you. Your eyes are saying what you want to say. I pull you close 'cause you like it that way. It won't be long before we give in today. It's true, 'cause I'm crazy about you. Girl, I'm crazy about you. What am I gonna do? Crazy about you. Girl, I'm crazy about you. Nice and slow. I can't be sure, but I wanna know just what you feel before I gotta go. Make it soon. Girl, I'm crazy about you. Girl, I'm crazy about you. What am I gonna do? Crazy about you. Yeah, I'm crazy about you.
That's Crazy About You from the Good Times. Brandon Jackson with us today here on our big program. It is the Thursday edition of the world famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcasting Friday night. He will be at the Rusty Needle here in the great Salt City of Hutchinson, Kansas. And we bring Brandon Jackson back here on Skype audio. And What's been the reception that you've gotten to some of your music around the country? Because you mentioned you're a real big part of the Texas music scene and the Oklahoma music scene, all the different places. What's been the reception and the reaction to your music, my man?
Yeah, it's all been really good, and I'm really appreciative of all the fans who love coming out and hearing me play and stream my music or download or buy it, and just consuming it in any sort of way is awesome for me, and it's been real positive. You know, I was talking to someone just actually today, and they were talking about just the energy that they can feel when I play even an acoustic show. They're like, you know, it's so fun to watch you play, even when it's just you and a guitar. You have this energy to your music and stuff, and that means a lot to me because I do put a lot into what I do, and I really try to make, if it's 5 people at a show or 500 people at a show, I try to put on the same type of deal, because everybody that's there to hear me really deserves the same thing. And so just it's all been positive stuff, and I'm very appreciative of that.
We've got the great Brandon Jackson with us today. He joins us live here on Skype audio, and we are playing some of his music today as well. A little sample of what you can expect tomorrow evening at the Rusty Needle here in Hutchinson, Kansas. Check out BrandonJacksonMusic.com for more information. That's BrandonJacksonMusic.com. And tell us a little bit about Dancin'. We're going to play that here in a few moments.
Yeah, dancing came about. My wife and I were actually babysitting our niece, and I had brought my guitar along and just thought it would be kind of fun to just kind of play some songs for her, or just play the guitar at all. She was, I think she was probably 3 or 4 at the time, really young, and so I just started playing this chord progression and just started singing just this melody, and I happened to just kind of start saying dancing and stuff, and she was dancing around the room. It was really fun. And I looked at my wife and I was like, this is actually kind of a catchy little tune. And so I ended up taking that and woodshedding it a little bit and came out with this song right here, and obviously had to title it Dancing because it was just too perfect. So really fun.
That's awesome. Well, here we go. It's Dancing. We're going to put Brandon on hold on Skype. We're going to play the tune, and we will be back here on our big broadcast. It's the Thursday edition. It is Dancing from the Good Times. Brandon Jackson right now.
Somebody, lucky love has never been his line. Night after night, he's cooped up in this old apartment. No reason to put his life on pause. It's time to make a change, he tells himself in the bathroom mirror. It's getting out and leaving for new cars. He's dancing, he's dancing around the middle of the street, forgetting all his troubles, feeling carefree. Dancing now, jumping his feet. something else. Dancing, dancing around the Love Street, forgetting all the troubles and feeling carefree. Follow me in love and dance cheek to cheek. Ooh, yeah.
That is dancing here on our big broadcast, coast to coast, border to border on iHeartRadio, AM, FM, 247.com, TuneIn, iTunes, and Radio Loyalty. Brandon Jackson joins us today. He is going to be part of a big show at the Rusty Needle tomorrow evening, and check out BrandonJacksonMusic.com for more information. And Brandon, you have put together a lot of great music. Tell me a little bit about your writing process for your tunes.
So I like to, what's funny is it's kind of hard because I'll do a lot of mental writing when I'm driving, which it makes it really hard to do. So my phone, I'll just kind of record into it as I'm driving, because that seems to be when my brain really just kind of, I don't know if that's safe to say or not, but I focus on driving, but still I'm able to kind of think about just different things that come to me while I'm doing that. I don't know why that is, but man, it just is a great way to just relax and focus on driving and let the thoughts come to you. And so that is always one of those processes that help me to be creative. And so then I take that stuff and I'll come back to my office and I'll have the guitar and I'll just start playing. And usually I'll come up with a good riff or chord progression right off the bat. And then I'll go to my phone and pull up some things I've recorded, either, some lyrics that I thought of or maybe a melody, and see if I can't fit it together. And that's kind of how it works for me. I piece things together and kind of, I don't ever like schedule writing times, but I'm able to just kind of get together. And once I start a song, I've got to finish it. I can't leave it for too long. If I do, it's never gonna get finished. And so I find myself, once I get something kind of going and kind of solid, then I'll just hammer it out and really get it fine tuned, and then I'll throw it in a set and start playing it live and see how it feels, and then usually it'll kind of morph and take on a life of its own once you start playing it live and stuff. So I don't write a lot with other people. I'm looking to do that more. The most I've done is with bandmates, kind of giving some thoughts when I bring it to them, and they'll say, hey, let's do this here. And I'm open to that sort of thing. But I'd like to team up with some guys sometimes and just see what happens. I think that would be a lot of fun. I haven't done it a lot that way, but I think it would be a fun way to do it.
Brendan Jackson with us today. He joins us live here on Skype Audio. He's going to be part of a big show tomorrow night at the Rusty Needle here in Hutchinson. BrandonJacksonMusic.com is the website. It's www.BrandonJacksonMusic.com. And before we let you go, my friend, how has the reaction been to your music on social media?
Really, really well. A lot of play through Pandora and through Spotify and a lot of those streaming stations. I get a lot of spins through that stuff, and you guys, radio, have been so helpful in supporting my stuff. People are finding me through those means, through streaming, through online radio, and through terrestrial radio and stuff like that. And it's fun to see just the different places. I mean, everywhere from here in the United States to Europe and to just around the world, to see some of those things come across and be like, wow, there's a person in the Philippines that really enjoys some of my stuff, and it's kind of weird to think. So it's pretty cool.
Well, I appreciate you making time for us today. Before we let you go, we're going to play Folding Money as we go, but before we let you go, if people want to pick up your music, how do they do that exactly?
So if you want to get my stuff, it's available on iTunes, Google Play, through cdbaby.com. You can find it there as well. physical CDs, you can order through my website, BrandonJacksonMusic.com. If you still do that, but like I said, if you're not listening to the radio that's playing my stuff, you guys, streaming services, check it out. Spotify, Amazon Unlimited, just anywhere you listen to music, whether you're downloading, streaming, or listening to it on the radio, just Brandon Jackson, and you'll find me.
Fantastic. Well, looking forward to seeing you at the Rusty Needle, my friend, and have yourself a wonderful, wonderful trip down here, and we'll talk to you tomorrow night. Thank you, man.
Hey, that sounds great. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Definitely. Enjoyed the conversation. Have yourself a safe trip, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you, Brandon.
Okay, we'll see you later. Thanks so much.
Thanks, man. There goes Brandon Jackson. Here is Folding Money, and tomorrow night, Rusty Needle with Brandon Jackson.